Hey, Duff.
Hello. How's life? Surviving?
That's the best word.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there.
How are your classes doing?
They're doing good, but I could see people physically tired, fatigue. Definitely could feel it. Even Zoom, you could feel it in the air. Just sort of the not the usual spunk. Like even the speed of them raising their hand kind of slow down a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but hang in there. Hang in there. How's everybody doing? Good? Any of you saw the Queen's Gambit, that new show on Netflix? The Queen's Gambit. Any of you saw that show?
Yeah, I saw it.
Really good. It's really, really good.
It is actually really good. It surprised me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I was like, this is one of those few very enjoyable stuff this year.
And it's so short too.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
only
surprised.
seven episodes. So something, not to binge now, but something after the finals to binge on. Highly recommend. What's that sound?
Is it my keyboard?
Typing really fast.
Okay, I'm gonna share my whole desktop because I have to show the browser at one point. Can you guys see?
Looks perfect.
Cool.
Finals week, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear the energy level?
Yeah, all the same.
Sometimes silence is really loud.
This finals week.
Was that your effort to add some humor?
That's so funny. I wish we could play music in here like it was a Momi Love meeting in person.
I know.
You can play music. You can screen share and then play music too at the same time. It wouldn't affect your visual.
Some pump up music, Krista.
Yeah,
like what?
I'm not good at playlist.
Jock jams.
No. What'd you say, Kagan?
Jock jams. Some sports.
What is that?
Music. It's like that shit they play at basketball games and stuff.
Yeah, tell me what to play, because well, if I play Spotify, will it play?
Yeah, Because if you share sound, it will just play whatever
Oh,
sound your
I don't
computer
want
is
to
playing.
share my. That's like Spotify. Your Spotify screens are like personal. I'm not gonna do that.
Play the Rocky soundtrack.
Yeah, just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube and do Lo-Fi Girl or something. You know, the Lo-Fi homework girl. You can just
Lo-fi
play
chill
that.
Lo-fi children.
This one.
Yeah, there you go.
There she is.
Yeah.
Oh wait, YouTube's down. YouTube is down right now.
Wait, what?
The whole
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, it hasn't
Yeah.
been working for like almost an hour now.
How could YouTube be down?
I know, how could we be down?
Where do you guys go to check if websites are down? Because I always go to Twitter, but I don't know
Wait.
if that's
Look at
The
this
website.
live chat.
yeah, it's down.
It's the end of the world. Everybody's saying.
YouTube is feeling finals week.
Do you think if I send you a link to a Spotify playlist, you'll play it? So it could just open straight up.
Sure.
I'll do that.
Wow, YouTube is down. Crazy. What is the world coming to?
Okay, wait. I have to like share my screen. Not over here. Oh, it's opening in my browser.
Oh, weird.
Same playlist though. Maybe it'll play because I think I'm logged in. Oh, well, is this yours? No, it isn't.
Mm-mm.
I'll just type it in. Oh, I was already on a lo-fi.
What the heck?
playlist. Should I just play that one?
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I'll play yours because yours is. There it is.
Strut. Can you play the Strut playlist?
Stop.
That one looks more entertaining. Sounds more entertaining. It might pump us up a little.
Oh my god. Oh, wait, just
Yeah, I second that. Play Strut.
nothing's even playing right now. I don't know why it's not even working.
Such tough customers, man.
Yeah, you got hecklers tonight.
I know, like now we're a radio station, you know, having calls. You know, oh my god.
It's not even like working. I can't tell. I don't think it's my internet. It's got to be
Spotify might have
Spotify.
some built-in thing that doesn't let you. share it.
Spotify is down too.
Dang.
Did the
It's
White
really
House
not
just turn
working.
off the internet?
Google's down, everyone.
Google's down.
They just went off for the night. Going off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we should jump into the meeting.
Yeah, we
anyway.
should jump right in. Let's jump right in.
Well, hello. We are at the last meeting of the quarter, which is crazy. I know. Is everybody excited for winter break? Because I am. I wanted to, or I put a little thing at the start here. I guess the agenda for today. First, I guess just like a quick disclaimer about finals and stuff too is, I mean, as we were talking about a little earlier, is like the natural energy is just very low, I feel right now, and we're in the final stretch and we just got to push through, but it is kind of like, you know, a rough time for people, and if you need to reach out to anybody for any reason, like, don't hesitate at all. Like, you're not alone. We're all going through this at some level or another. So if you need somebody to talk to about anything, or even like classes, maybe if you're uncertain about like what you registered for. I know registration was a little while ago, but if you have any questions about classes or help on anything, you can reach out to any of the officers and just anybody in the Discord in general. We're all friendly. So, yeah, I guess just to open with that, because I know it's a crazy couple of weeks. But yeah, the agenda for today overall is we're going to talk a little bit about emotes in Discord. We know like the past few weeks have been a lot of like heavy commotion, branding stuff. And we're going to kind of go into a little bit more fun club stuff. We also, though, are going to talk about commotion dates. So the official date of commotion, and then what to just kind of be thinking about a little bit before as we head into winter break. Nothing too major though. And then we have a little note about Instagram. We're going to have a little tutorial about parallax effects in After Effects, and then we're going to play a little game in the Discord if anybody wants to join after.
What game?
So yeah, most likely a Jackbox game.
I didn't see.
Or like Scribble.io. It's like a Pictionary. We'll like split up into groups because we can't have everybody play the same game. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, I thought it might be we used to do Momi Jeopardy, and I just felt like it's great in honor of Alex Trebek.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, oh no, but I forgot. Oh yeah, like I forgot that happened.
Who do you think is going to take over for Alex Trebek?
They gotta cancel the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, no way.
It's gotta be reruns.
It's too soon to discuss.
I wonder when his last episode is. What if it's like in like 4 months? Right?
my
And like
gosh.
they film like 5 a day, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's crazy. I didn't even think about
Back
that.
to Earth. Back to Earth. Don't.
Yeah, maybe we can
Something
do
to
it
think about.
Jeopardy
Yeah.
after finals. Like a little
Yeah,
fun
we have
game.
to like put those together. Yeah. All right. Well, so Alex is going to talk a little bit about how we want to implement emotes in Discord.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me okay? All
Yep.
right, cool. So emotes. So before I tell you what we want or what we're going to do with it, for those of you that don't know what emotes are, in Discord, they're like little tiny emojis. You can use them just in regular chat or reacting to somebody's like comment in the chat, and they're just kind of a fun way to communicate with other people. And so we are allowed, since we have a Discord server, we have up to 100 emotes that we can custom put into our server. And so we are opening this up for you guys so that you can make your own little emotes, and we will have them in the server for everybody to use on this server. This is optional, just so you know. You don't have to do this. This is not a competition or high stakes or anything. This is just meant to be something fun. If you want to do it, that's totally fine. If you don't want to, that's okay too. We will be having, if you could just send whatever you make to our SCAD MomiLove email. It's right there at the bottom, momilovescad@gmail.com. And what we're going to be looking for is any one PNG image per person. So don't send us like 30, please. It has to be less than 256 kilobytes for file size, and it has to be at least 125 pixels by 125 pixels. This is just so that we can upload it properly to Discord. And then it can really be whatever you want. There are 2 examples there at the bottom. Those are 2 that I've done custom for like Twitch emotes for streamers and stuff. They can be anything. They don't have to be characters. It can be like a symbol, a funny phrase, or whatever you want, really. Just please make sure that it is school appropriate, Momi appropriate. We don't want anything negative or offensive in there. So again, if you could just send it to the Gmail, 1 per person, and that's really it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or you can at any of us in the
Can
server.
Professor join?
Yes, professors can join.
For those of you who are familiar, they're like pretty much the same thing as like the custom emojis in Slack.
Hmm.
You use it to react to stuff. A lot of people use it for like more meme type
Yeah,
genre
I wanna
of things
send
they
one.
upload. Huh?
I want to send one. You know, that's why I asked if Professor.
You
allowed-
should.
Yeah,
You
you
definitely
should.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you can use them, like Anna said, for reactions. So that can be used for the pizza raffle. So the pizza raffle, you react to like enter into it. So you guys can do that right now, right? Alex, you started it, right? Oh wait, I'm muted.
I think the thing with the pizza raffle is that you have to react with the one emoji, right? Or can it
Yeah,
be
you have to react to the popper, and I'm just about to start. I just need to put in the commands for it.
Yeah, make sure you click on the little party popper emoji because I don't think it'll register if it's a different one.
Yeah, it doesn't.
All right, so I just want to give you guys a second to enter that. But I guess to move forward, the official commotion dates are on March 18th through 20th. So this is a really important announcement because these dates are on spring break, which might be a little controversial, I don't know, but overall, this was a very like hard, or I guess we spent a lot of time thinking about what days commotion would be on, and we think that this works best for everybody, keeping like the students and professors' best interests in mind, mainly because every year a lot of students are kind of scrambling to get their work together by the end of the quarter, or their projects aren't finished yet. They don't really have time, or they're like, you're very busy with school and you also have that added stress of commotion on top without like having really the time to stop and breathe and put everything together and like make sure you're ready. So this is toward the end of the spring break week, meaning that you would finish finals, you would have that entire weekend and first half of the spring break week to kind of like digest the quarter, finish, getting together all of your final projects, website, tidying up, putting together your reel, and all of that stuff. You would have that extra time to like relax, kind of prepare, and then head into commotion, which is still, so it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday of the spring break week. So we thought a lot about that date, and especially with COVID, we'd hope not a lot of people had crazy, trips planned or anything. That doesn't seem like it's really in our future this year. So just keeping all that stuff in mind, and you guys have like plenty of time, I guess, with this date to kind of prepare and think about what you want to participate in. Also, it's virtual, so it's not like you have to be in attendance for the entire day and in the museum like we would normally have to be. It's very flexible based on what you want to attend and what you want to be a part of. So although we recommend you being a part of all of it because it's for you guys and it's great, but just keeping all that in mind. So I guess with that, does anybody have any questions before talk a little bit about prep?
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I think that's a very good decision. I mean, although this is something we've never done before, just like, commotion going virtual is something new for us too. But also we definitely felt like in the past, just like what Krista mentioned, there's always a conflict of like, hey, there's schoolwork to be done. And yet, this big weekend is coming out. And usually it takes a lot, because it's a whole weekend long, usually it takes a lot out of the student. So the following week, they need time to recuperate. I felt this is probably, out of any combination we have, the sort of best combination. In the past, a little bit more challenging to do something like that because a lot of you are physically, everywhere, either going home, on vacation, some in Savannah. So we're unable to corral people like that. But think about it, even for those of you who have physical plans for spring break, this is virtual. So you can Zoom, you can, participate anywhere you are. And if you think about it, it's only a couple of days out of your pretty extended spring break. And just like Krista mentioned, I believe most of you are probably not going to physically be going anywhere, in the time of pandemic. So for those of you who have no plans for spring break, how about I give you one? Commotion. Let's look forward to this spring break. That's definitely where I'm going to be. All right. So I think that was really something that was really came out of a possibility because we're doing it virtual. So I'm looking forward to it. So I hope everybody would accept that date too, because there's not much reaction. It seems like people are not excited about it. So are you guys too excited about Commotion?
No, I'm actually like super pumped that this is the date. Like, I think this is probably the most like convenient it's gonna be.
All right, hell yeah, people! Give a thumbs up emoji at least.
I was worried, and this is like a lot better than I was hoping. So yeah, great choice, guys.
All right, that's better.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, awesome. Wait, what was that?
Said I'm pumped. Now I can wear my bathing suit to Commotion.
Spring break theme.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, thank you so much, Duff, for like elaborating on that, and for you guys for like understanding and like accepting that. We know, like, we just want to like elaborate that was a very conscious decision, and we're not trying to take over anybody's spring break, but we think this is beneficial for everybody's schedule. So I guess to kind of go on, now that we have that date in our heads, it's time to start, I guess, not fully, we don't want to like freak everybody out and make you think that you have to have like you have to start cranking on Commotion stuff tomorrow or the day after finals ends. But this is more of a winter break is a time that a lot of people have to kind of focus on their personal brand and their, personal work outside of school. So this is a good time to start thinking about, like your personal stuff, your website, your reels, all of those promotional things, and that stuff that will get you ready and feel more prepared for Commotion. So you're not like scrambling throughout winter quarter to get some things done. So yeah, we thought we just want to like put some inspirational thoughts in your head to kind of like get you guys thinking about what you can do for Commotion and how to prepare. But it's, we definitely do a lot more like hard tutorials and like more like things, I guess, to help you more concretely and throughout winter quarter. So we are planning a demo reel cutting tutorial that we normally put together, as well as some other stuff. So this is, like we said, just a little bit more casual tips, and if you need any more like inspiration or questions about what you should be doing, or if you need any help, people to look, we'll be here. So, or I don't know if Anna and Carly want to add anything to that before I show some examples of stuff.
Yeah, it's just something to think about, so it's in your mind. Plant the seed so that when the time comes, when we have these events, you have an idea of where the direction that you want to take it. Yeah, we're not saying finish any of these, this winter or whatever, because I know you're going to have a lot of projects to show that you make in winter quarter, but it's good to even just like, start thinking about the design and the direction that you want to take when you have the time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let me get out of this screen. We'll get out of the lo-fi hip hop, that wouldn't work. All right, so First things first, are some websites, I guess, or portfolios. I guess the main thing to kind of think about is the platform you want to be using, or just like the general layout that you like, or just look at some examples and inspirations of things that would inspire your website. So we have just a few like student examples or students that have graduated. This is Casella's from last year. It's very like much the simple and clean and really easy to navigate. And she has a lot of process, and that's like super important for our websites. So the main thing is like functionality, especially for promotion during portfolio reviews. Sometimes like, and the companies actually get your websites before you meet with them, so they could like go through your website before you're with them. So like having a clean and like easy to navigate website is super important, because you might be like, oh well, I'll be going through it with them, but it's really important to have a lot of like process. And yeah, just this is a good example of a really clean kind of basic layout of the all the projects in these like boxes.
And that it's optimized, you know, like I think as nice as it would be to have all these fancy, you know, big GIFs and things like that, I feel like it's a little bit of a janky look to maybe have a ton of stuff having to load and having to wait a super long time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes like you see some websites that like everything's moving and it's like, oh wow, it's so cool, but that comes at like a cost when you're waiting for a second at Commotion, or like those awkward like minutes while you're waiting for something to load. So yeah, that's something to think about. Also, this website is pretty responsive. So that's something to think about when you're when you choose like the platform that you're going to be designing in, is if it looks good on mobile. I'm assuming that will also be like important for this virtual Commotion.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Something that Casella does really well, and a lot of motion designers do really well on their websites, is how limited like the amount of clicking that you have to do to get to their projects. So at the very top, she has like real work about, and that's it. Just so there's not like crazy amounts of, separating the type of work. Sometimes they just want to see all of it in one place. I mean, if you have something that works for you that separates a bunch, then there's definitely value in that. But definitely something to consider is how to reduce the amounts of times that you split up your work, reduce the amount of times that someone has to click around to find your work.
Yeah. It's a really good point. So yeah, she has just these 3 tabs, real, work, and about, and I'll click on her about page real quick. Very simple. Like you really don't need more than this, just a picture and a quick little bio about yourself and a link to your resume. I have her resume down here that I'll show later.
Something about bios really quick that people will tell you is that like it should be written in the first person unless someone's literally written something about you. If you're like that, like, influential, that someone's written something about you, I guess, is generally a rule of thumb, at least for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I feel like I was told from my high school that you were supposed to do that. And I remember thinking it was so awful. Like, because it basically my bio for my high school, I had to graduate and I had to have it. It was like, Krista Coates is a student that, and I'm talking about myself in the third person, and you're not a corporation, it's okay to be personable, and like, you're just a human being. They know you're a student, they know you're learning. So
yeah, it's like the last spot where you get to really show off your personality other than like through your work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, Susie's website, I was just looking at her tabs, and she has this extra one that a few people add, which is Play. And that normally is like a link to their Instagram feeds or something that like it's just small renders, not full projects that they don't really know where to put anywhere. So if you're somebody who like creates a lot of like, Procreate illustrations or like things that you can't really make a whole page about, this is a really good idea. Because it lets them, it's like a quick little tidbit for them to see just the type of things that you're doing in your free time. But instead of having a reel tab, she just has the first project is her reel, which quite a few people do. It's just really important to make sure your reel is accessible, because that's a lot of times the first thing that they are going to want to see or watch. So whether it's your home tab, like when you first go to your website, your reel is right there, or there's a reel tab, or it's the first project right here, like it's important that it's right there. It should be like one click away. But yeah, Susie is also like a more along the same lines as Casella's, where it's super clean and easy to navigate. But you can see the ways that they're both able to like insert their personal like styles within it, and in the same, like even though they're both, you know, not crazy different layouts, you can definitely see in their branding and like just different choices of like fonts and colors, like, and how spaced out things are, like that tells a lot about the type of person or the way that they're trying to come across. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that even with like these simple layouts, you don't have to go kind of crazy for it to stand out or for you to get what you need to come across. Another one I wanted to show, which we showed last time, was Anna Yang. She's right here. But this is kind of an example of a more like personalized, you know, not so standard layout, but it's still pretty functional and lets you, like, again, you can easily navigate. But she definitely added her like, you know, personal like graphic design flair to it. Yeah, that's just super important to be able to like get around it easily, because it's easy to go overboard and want to show everything, or, you know, make it kind of messy. And it's really important that it's like easy to navigate. I know I've said that a million times. All right, so I guess to show some reels, we have Marcelo's reel right here. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
We can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Maybe if I put a full screen, I don't think that might change anything, but.
Did you turn on share computer sound?
I don't know.
If you go to screen share to the very right, the more option, click on that, and then make sure it's checked when it says share sound from computer. Make sure that's checked. If you go down to your control bar, you'll see more. When you click on more, it will give you a tab. Yeah.
I'm on more, but then there's no, I see hide video panel, optimize screen share for video clip.
Yeah. Is there a share computer from SoundTap?
Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen for a sec.
I wanted the optimize option.
The optimize video for that one, that's the one that you click on.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me see. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Let's see if this works. Can you hear now? No?
No.
Dang it.
Krista, when you screen
Yeah.
share, when you're selecting which window to share, there's two blue boxes. Make sure those two blue boxes are checked. Stop screen share, and when you share, before you select your window, there's two boxes at the bottom that say, yeah.
Yeah, they're both checked. It says share computer sound.
You know what? Check your computer output. It might be going to your headphone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, And try one more time. Oh, not that. I can't even hear you guys anymore. Or see you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. You can still see my screen though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not playing anymore. Oh, wait, can you hear that?
Yeah.
It's working now.
Okay. I'm gonna try to find you guys again so I can put you in the right spot. Nope. Well, that's fine.
Well,
Well,
sorry.
no, you can
You can try to
go.
find them while I say something.
Okay.
Something about Marcelo is that he has a ton of amazing work, and yet his demo reel is only 30-ish seconds long, maybe 40 seconds. I feel like on average, they're like between 30 seconds and a minute. They're just kind of like the recommended thing. Plus his branding is very unified, and he's a lot of matching like the motion between different cuts in his reel to make it feel like a solid piece on its own. Because sometimes when you make your demo reel, you think that it's like just a collection of a bunch of your favorite pieces, but really your demo reel should kind of feel like a unique piece itself and have enough strength to stand on its own. Did you find us?
I found you again.
Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, that was something I was going to talk about was matching motion. He does a great job of that, and I don't know if I can maybe get to a point that I can find a good spot. But like audio, I feel like the audio that you choose to your reel, obviously like the types of cuts that you make are like the two most important aspects of your reel, because it's like, and it's not as like complicated I guess as it seems, or it's more of like you kind of just start with putting all of your pieces in in one project file and cutting down the pieces that you like, and then finding ones that are cohesive and go together in the way that they like land. So I think this is a good example. Oh wait, no, it didn't. Mainly like what you were saying with like match cuts is when something like bounces, or you're matching the motion of the previous clip. So if one is swiping right, or there's a motion of swiping right, the next clip is also doing that. And that just makes it feel more cohesive rather than just like your clips of your projects just put together randomly. I guess to show another reel is Will Burkhart. He graduated last year. So that was another like good example of the match cuts too, and like even maybe created some where they weren't initially there. So like this movement here where he's constantly like he moves out of one so he comes into the next, like that type of movement that he has that's really like cohesive and makes you, it's not jarring to cut.
Advice on cutting your own demo reel. He probably would have told you that like you can use stuff in After Effects to cheat a little bit to make those, you know, transitions work really well for you. For pieces that are made for Instagram, using like tiling effects so that it fills out the sides, motion blur between those, you know, really fast camera movements, like Krista was saying, and like making, you know, creating motion where there wasn't, you know, motion before in the original piece.
Yeah, this was also, didn't he start cutting this during the demo reel cutting workshop that Shaw did last year? So Austin Shaw, who was like always was doing our demo reel workshop, he kind of normally works with that we'll go over later on or used in this reel. So yeah, I don't know, this is just a really good example of quite a few, like the sound synchronization. It's really like rhythmic overall, like kind of hits on a lot of the same points in the music. And it's also, yeah, like music choice I can't get over is like super important because like that entirely changes like the mood that you're going to be presenting yourself as, I guess. And it's so hard. It's like, honestly, I'm not going to say it's an easy decision or anything because like, you know, it's hard to find a piece of music that you think represents you and your work well and fits well. But it's worth spending the time to find a good piece of music that works for you.
Take your time, pick your music early, send it to many people because something that sounds great to you might not sound great to everyone else. I've definitely done that before. Get opinions from other people to see if it fits you, but also if it's just something that's pleasant to listen to for more than like, you know, for 30 seconds.
Yeah, something that's too repetitive. Sometimes people choose songs and it's like a really annoying noise over and over, and that's all you can focus on. Or something like there's weird little like things that you might not notice, like Anna was saying, that like it's super important to like get other people to listen to because you wouldn't normally pick up on it. But like there's sometimes there's just like one note or something that's like repeating in a way that's like not cool. So yeah, that's on reels. Another piece of like brand, it's not really like branding, but I guess like a way to present yourself professionally is LinkedIn profiles. So I'm showing Desmond's. I don't know if Desmond is here. Is he?
I think he is here. Or he was here. I don't remember. Or I saw him a minute ago.
Well, I'm showing his LinkedIn page because it's and okay. So it's just, this isn't more of like, it's more to make sure that you should have a LinkedIn page and it should be like complete by the time, because there's a lot of little things in LinkedIn that like you wouldn't know that are not done. Like a lot of times if you're, I mean, I don't know because I'm connected to Desmond on LinkedIn, but like sometimes you'll have a setting that says don't show on people who I'm not connected to, don't show them my profile picture, or don't show them my cover photo. So you might upload those things and it might show up for you, but it might not show up to people who you aren't connected to yet, which is a dumb feature, I guess. But it's important to, like, I guess, complete your profile and then I guess have like friends check it out. And it doesn't matter as much like how many connections you have, or even like, it's more that you just have a complete profile, because it's just like an easily accessible resume for somebody who's looking for, like, you can easily be found on LinkedIn, as well as like if they don't want to go through your, like, I don't know, your resume, or if they've just connected with people recently, like it's easier for them to just like get this quick overview of your resume. So
he's
it's
got
important.
Oh, sorry, it lagged. Let me just
No, you're good. Go.
Oh, I was gonna say he has a really cohesive look to it, very clean and not too much wording anywhere. Like his about section is not so long that you have to click more. Short and sweet, right? He has like what you want to see right at the front.
Yeah, he has these links to his reel as well as his YouTube channel. So you can put like, yeah, basically where you would want to direct those people to see your work. It's important to have your portfolio link on here. He is also very active on LinkedIn, which is like a goal, I guess most people would have, because it's hard to be active on LinkedIn, I would say. But like, I know when we think of like posting our work, we think to post it on Instagram and like maybe Vimeo or Behance and stuff, but LinkedIn is actually a really great place to get your work out there to actual like employers and people who are looking to hire and stuff like that. So it's good to get in the habit of posting, I guess, your any like accomplishments or I guess developments in your career on LinkedIn.
If you scroll down a little bit, it looks like he has like a couple bullet points under at least one of his jobs, which is really helpful sometimes. I think we don't always think to do that. I haven't done that in mine, but it's kind of like your resume, laid out.
Oh yeah, he has more down here. And I guess I'd never seen this either. There's a link to Commotion 2019 right there so that the person can click on the website and look at it versus like searching through his portfolio, which is kind of cool. I hadn't seen that. So yeah, it's important to like, I guess, just keep up with your profile and make sure that it's has the right information, it's up to date. Also, like, listing your skills is super important. Like, he has a lot of endorsements from people that he knows, but it's also like we should support each other, and you can like endorse your friends and people that you've been in like class with, or like and I'm not saying like endorse everybody, no, but like just people that you know are proficient in those things. It really like helps their account. It's also, he has a recommendation, which is really nice. And it shows his awards, languages, some projects, a publication. So it's just nice to have a full LinkedIn profile and make sure that you've like completed all the steps to fill it in. It shouldn't just be like your name and that you go to SCAD and that's it. Next is just keeping up with your social media profiles, because that's another way to like get a lot of attention in our community and make sure that you're getting like your work out there and people can see more of the like not like less professional, but like a little bit more of your personality, I think, can come out on your Instagram. This is Carly's. I'm showing Carly's because she's pretty good at keeping up with her account and posting kind of frequently, which is hard to do. It's really hard to keep up with social media, and it's okay if you like can't post all the time. It does help, and you get to see like Carly does a lot of showing her process and like about like more, you get to see more of like who Carly is as a person and as a artist, instead of just like the cut and dry things you would see on her website. So yeah, like she shows a lot of like these having the multiple like things that you have to slide to see some process, which is really nice. Do you guys keep seeing these little Zoom things that pop up on my screen?
No.
Probably not. But it'll just pop up saying something about my speaker or something. So that's Carly's. Another thing that like I'm so bad at, I don't know, but like like saving your stories and stuff into categories, that's a really nice like feature. Nicole, who is the other account that we're showing, she does a really great job of like keeping up with her little highlighted stories. And overall, she has like a really cohesive account. Like when you look at her page, you can immediately see like her style and the type of art that she creates, and it's like pretty easily digestible while still being like having a little, not like process per se. I don't know if she shared any like maybe time, I think she shared a few time lapses and stuff, but it's more of like the slightly personal, smaller tidbit side of her larger work that's on her website. And I mean, she doesn't post quite as often. I think this was 20 weeks ago, probably in like May or something. I think she posted this a little while ago. So she doesn't post all the time, but this is a good example of like still having a good social media account that's like pretty cohesive and shows who you are without you know, having to post every week or having the pressure of that, I guess. And something important to note is they both link their website on their Instagram, which is important. You should do that. All right, last little tidbits were about things that are normally like printed materials. I guess resume is definitely something that will like is good to have a link on your website. But another thing that we're talking about is business cards, which obviously this year is going to be very different because you're not going to see the companies in person. But it could be cool to kind of come up with some alternative, ways of getting your contact information to the company. And that's something that we haven't had a, concrete solution for or alternative to, I guess, yet. But I don't know, it could be cool to think about ways that you could, make yourself stand out and send to the company, or like something that they have that's tangible is pretty nice. These are just some examples of resume. Oh, sorry, I'm talking.
I'm sorry, the computer's slow. I was gonna say, like, one idea is like maybe you make an email banner or something that you attach at the end of your follow-up email that's personalized to them, or like, just swap out their name, maybe a little drawing or a render or something.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of like something to do virtually that still is like has your little flair to it, and they can see a little bit of your design, like something to remind them of who you are instead of just like looking at a million blank emails at the day after promotion, So this is Annie Yang's resume. A resume is pretty hard to design, even though it seems simple enough, but it's hard to pack a lot of information into one page in a way that isn't like overwhelming. This is Casella's and then Anna's. So I think like Anna has a bit more information here, but she still did it in a very like clean and concise way, and it's pretty easy to navigate. Whereas like Casella went the route, I think, of like shortening, only showing the really important stuff, and to kind of make her design be overall more like digestible. But these are two examples of like both things, of having a little bit more information, but make sure it's clean and readable, and because it's very easy to overcrowd your resume But there is always the option of like really think about what is needed or what you would really like to come across on your resume, or what is important for you to, I guess, tell the companies about your experience and what would kind of sell what type of worker you are, an artist you are, because these type of design skills are often overlooked, I think, by MOMI just a little bit, like, but it's super important because things like this, and normally like your business card, like printed materials, tell a lot about the type of designer somebody is, and how like thoughtful they are about these types of details. So it's important to like think about, I guess, and maybe again, because these wouldn't be printed, these could be rethought in a way that, I don't know. There's a lot of possible motion that we haven't explored, you know?
Yeah, I mean, something that a lot of people do already is like PDFs can have live links, which could be helpful. You know, for example, Castella is talking about being a MOMI Lab officer and helping to plan Commotion. Like if she links the Commotion website, that might add a little bit more credibility or like a little more context to what she's talking about there, because she doesn't really explain what Commotion is.
Yeah. Well, that kind of wraps up our little overview of some materials you should be thinking about for Commotion. Does anybody have any like questions or thoughts?
I mean, I know this probably gets reiterated over and over and over, especially by like the, you know, career guys, but 1 page resume, 1 page. Never.
What'd you say?
1 page resume.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason
For
to
sure.
ever.
Yes. Don't do 2 pages.
I don't want to see that
Yeah,
either.
that's the point.
Dang.
All right.
What's worse, a minute-long reel or a 2-page resume? A 2-minute reel or a 2-page resume?
I was gonna say a 1 minute long reel
Not that bad.
can be good. 2 minutes. Now that has some competition, being the worst.
All right. Any more thoughts before we move on to a few other little things? All right. I don't know who wanted to mention this little tidbit about social media.
Yeah, no, this is just a reminder that to keep tagging SCAD MOMI Love, or tag our MOMI Love Instagram, because we are intending to share a lot more student work. So if you share anything, if you've been making stuff this past quarter that you're proud of, post it and tag us, because we want to share your work.
Yeah, even over winter break too. Like,
yeah.
Cool. So I guess we will. Kagan has a tutorial, another like workshop little thing he's gonna go over with us about parallax, which is pretty cool. And then we're gonna eat the winner and play some games. So do you want me to stop sharing my screen, Kagan?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
What if I go like this? Do I have to go this close? Just like an airline pilot. Okay, let me share After Effects. You guys know what parallax is, by the way? Here, can y'all see this? The cactus and shit. So parallax basically is just when you're, you know, you have sort of this depth of movement, so that, you know, when you're like looking out a car window, right? And the stuff that's closer to the window is moving a lot more quickly than the stuff that's in the distance. That's basically parallax in real life. So full transparency, this is straight up a video on Vimeo that I got this technique from, and I can link that in the Discord afterwards, and I'll give you guys this project file like normal. But yeah, this is not my original technique, but I use it very often. So yeah, right now, you know, I've got this little sunrise scene. It's like, okay, cute, kind of whatever, you know, it's not moving. And even if it was moving, so like, let's make this 1920 by 1080 really quick, just to sort of show you what I'm talking about. Let's make a camera. So for the hotkey I just did was, at least on a Mac, it's Command Option Shift C, which is a lot of things to hold all at once. So if we were to keyframe this right now, oh, nothing's 3D, so nothing will happen. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind, is that in order to use a camera, you're gonna want all your frames to be 3D. Right? Is that right? I think that's right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Real quick.
Yeah, if you're not faking it. Like
Yeah, I'm trying to show what happens when you don't use parallax. So actually here, let's just do this really quick. You know, sort of go like from here and then over here. And it's like, okay, cool. You know, you have a pan, whatever, but there's no depth to it. You see what I'm saying? It's just, it's a bit flat. So this should help to sort of give everything depth. And I know there's different ways of doing this, right? Like you could make all these things 3D. Like what I used to do is I would make all these things 3D and, you know, just like push each thing back. So if you look at like, here, I'll sort of, if you look at on the right side here, as I push stuff back, you know, the thing shrinks. As I push it back in Z space, it sort of shrinks in the front view. So then like what I used to do is, okay, push it back and then like scale it up to normal size. So it looks, I don't know, which is just a kind of a pain in the ass. So what this technique does is basically makes it so that you just have to push it back and it's gonna stay the same size. If that makes sense, it will make more sense in a bit. So basically, what you want to do is once you have all, and this is important, this is very like front-loaded process, I would say. You want to have all your stuff laid out kind of where you want it to be already. So, you know, I know I want this cactus and this windmill, you know, the composition is already basically set up. And this is even easier if you're like working from a Photoshop file. Like I imported a Photoshop file. I pre-comped a couple of these things here just to kind of add a little animation to like the windmill and the cactus, but they're basically each just their Photoshop layer. So yeah, once you have everything kind of laid out and composed like you want it, you want to go ahead and make a camera, and you can just, I just go with the default usually. And then you want to make a null. So again, for the camera, that was Command Option Shift C. And then the hotkey to just make a null is Command Option Shift Y. And let's just name that camera null. Can you see all this? Am I going too fast? Just someone, cool. Yeah, someone yell if I'm going too fast. So after you've got the camera and the null here, make everything, obviously not the camera because you can't, but make everything 3D. So just hit that little cube in this column right here. If you don't see that, it should be, I think, switches. Yeah, so if you don't see that, just right click, kind of, I usually click like right in between, you know, where you got the names and the timeline proper, just right click, column, switches. Switch that on. Then what you want to do is parent the null to the camera, and then open the position on the null and just zero out the Z. So when I parented it at first, you know, it had that 3055.6. Just go ahead and hit 0 for that. And then this is kind of this is where it gets kind of weird. What you're gonna do is unparent that from the camera. So what that's doing is actually, if I zoom way out, it's now like moving the null's default position to the camera, which is what helps with this next move. All right, so once the camera null is zeroed out and unparented from the camera, you go ahead and take everything else, including the camera, and just parent that to the null. And then all you gotta start doing is you're using the scale basically to push stuff back, and it'll stay the same size. So let me show you kind of what I'm talking about with the 2 views. Can I not, oops, stretch this? It has to stay perfectly even. Okay, cool. So this is where you sort of have to think about, you know, what the depth of your piece really is, right? So like, I know I want this cactus to be is really close, right? But then the mountains and the clouds are like way back there. So, you know, it kind of depends. You'll see in a sec what you want to set this scaling to. But basically, I know that like this sunrise overlay is just like a little color overlay that I have over the whole thing. And this cactus, Nopal cactus, if you want to get specific, I'm actually going to unparent those because I actually don't want those to be pushed back at all. I basically want that to be like sort of in the default Z space, which is basically just the closest. Although I guess what you could do, I've never done this, but I guess you could scale it down, you know? So like put it at, instead of 100, put it at like 90 or something. That's just gonna mean that anytime it moves, it's gonna move really fast. But I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna unparent these front 2 things. And then next I've got this foreground, which, hold on, I made my zoom thing. This foreground is just kind of this hill in the front. And I'd say, you know, that's decently far away. I would go to like, I guess. Yeah, probably fine. And basically you've got everything in the mountains and the clouds. So I'm probably just gonna throw those like way back there. Maybe, I don't know, 500. I'm totally arbitrarily picking these numbers. And then unparent the mountain and just keep going down. All these clouds probably gonna be on the same layer or same like Z space layer for now. So I'll just like set 650, sure. There's probably a more mathematical way to do this, but that's okay. And then like, I have this weird separation where like, I have all these clouds, which are kind of these blue and orange things or whatever. But then I have like this weird sort of other cloud that I'm just gonna throw even further back. Just because it's funny. It's funny to do that. And then stars. And then this sunrise background is actually just like a little gradient going on. And you know what? They can be on the same layer. And so if you've done everything right, you should have this insane Z space thing. I can't even zoom out any more than this. But as you can see, it goes way back there. And now let's test it out. I think what I'm gonna do is I imported it as whatever size the Photoshop document was, which I guess is 2200 by 1500. So I'm just gonna change the comp. So I did Command K to open up the composition settings. Do a little bit more standard height. And so now the only thing parented to the camera null is the camera. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use the position now after I have everything set up. And this is where it's a little bit of a again, like a front-loaded process. Is like now that I'm starting to move everything and I've unparented stuff, kind of the only way thing and remember what you set each thing to. Again, it's sort of this like a general thing. Wait, let's try this really quick. So I'm using the camera null again to move the camera, basically using that position. So let's see how far down I can get before. You can already sort of see the parallax starting to work. And then let's just go the other way. Cool. Oh shit, I cut it off there. Oh, I also, okay, if you could see this, that's just the color overlay. So I'm gonna cheat really quick and scale that up. I'm gonna do the thing that I said this tutorial was helping me avoid. And then yeah, I'm gonna set it to maybe a quarter, so it renders. See a little bit more of what I'm talking about. Here, let's just see that little bit. You know, you get a little bit more depth, so things aren't all moving, you know, flatly in the same vein. I think you see it a little bit more if you go on the Y. You know, see how like that foreground is moving. I think this renders is such a weird roundabout way, but yeah, I don't know.
There's I know there's like, is there like any reason why this one's the?
I just like this one because it's little is position, you know. Yeah, because I used to do the other thing, you know, where I was like, I don't want to even mess with 3D or camera stuff. So I would just sort of like move each thing and pan it at its own speed, which is fine. But I think this is just like so quick. This is such a quick way of doing it that it's sometimes a bit easier. Again, the only problem with this is like, if I realize, oh shit, I want to, you know, throw the windmill further back. It's a bit more than just, well, actually, let's see really quick. I might have just realized something tonight. If I wanted to parent the camera null, or parent just that back to the camera null, is that doing anything? Oh, I guess you can. You can just like, I guess this just, once you reparent it, you just kind of, the numbers from before are meaningless. I don't know. So yeah, never mind. This is convenient, right? Is like, isn't also faking it to a degree, but like that's being simulated that you don't have to hard in, I guess.
Word.
Cool. Sorry, I was a little bit. What expression are you talking? Can you send me that?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Let me send and I'll zip this. This is kind of a big project file, so like, I think I'll probably have to send Dropbox link in the Discord as opposed to like the zip file. That will be a meeting. And thanks for sitting through that with me.
Awesome, Kagan. And at least to me, it was not confusing at all.
It's pretty straightforward. This is like the one time, this is why I think this is why I started using Parallax more. So I was like, wait, now it doesn't suck to set up.
So I have a question. And it's not directly related to the tutorial, which thank you, by the way. It does help clear some things up. I've had to use Parallax recently a lot. So it's just kind of a question for those of you who like really like getting into the expressions and stuff. Is there any particular benefit to like learning JavaScript? Like if I wanted to sort of get into that. And anyone out here that knows about that?
Sorry, what are the benefits of like using expressions in JavaScript just in general?
No, just like learning the language. I kind of mean, like, is that something like, is it something I need? Is it unnecessary? It's something I've been thinking about, so I don't know if I should do it or not.
I don't think it's something you need necessarily. Like if you were wanting to mess around with expressions, I mean, it is basically JavaScript. It's the same syntax and everything, but I don't know JavaScript. But that also means that I think my like knowledge of expressions and how to write them and what stuff is kind of doing and meaning is very limited. I think maybe, I don't know, knowing JavaScript is just like an insanely useful skill beyond After Effects. But yeah, it is the same language. So like, if you're ever kind of interested or just hung up on like the why of how stuff is working, as opposed to just being like, okay, I know this phrase that I write this expression will do this, but not knowing why exactly it does that, I think studying things like JavaScript or kind of coding in general would make that a bit more clear.
Okay. Yeah, it's just good to know. I guess it's just that I've been like, I have a hard time just like memorizing things for the sake of like knowing them. So I feel like maybe understanding it might help make things sink in better.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've been trying to get better at that too. And like whenever I see a new expression, sort of try to break. Sometimes I get an expression, I don't know what the hell is going on. But trying to break it down before I just like copy and paste it into my little database or whatever. Yeah, because otherwise it's like, I'm not going to remember to use it. I'm not going to remember the expression unless I've like spent some time with it, I guess.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, the pizza raffle just concluded. Kelly Southam won the pizza raffle this time. I don't know if she's in here. Is she? Maybe not. That's fine. Either Alex or Gia will check in with you, but they will check in with you so you can get a pizza soon.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a message tonight. Sorry to interrupt you, Anna.
No, you didn't. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a message. My Discord username is Jizuna, Xizunna. So if you see a random message from that person, it's me.
Well, if there isn't anything that people just want to talk about, I realized we didn't have any student pitches. Now's the time, if anyone wants to talk about anything. Otherwise, we can move out onto, games. But that pretty much like concludes the core of our meeting today. I guess the informational parts of it. Krista, are you able to?
I'm back. I don't know what was wrong. I couldn't hear anything for a little while. But yeah, I mean, I guess just to
Oh, I think we stopped hearing you. Okay. Well, how about we switch to Discord, to the 114 voice channel for game night. Does that sound good, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We will hop over there. Thank you guys so much for coming. Again, good luck with finals. As you're finishing stuff, feel free to send it in project help if you need any critique or any feedback.